Hello, everyone. This is Hendrik from Starseed Talk. I am sitting here with Marina and her mom, Oksana, and she is a Starseed child, or what they call a diamond child, and she remembers her past lives, etc. And now she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Marina.
That's my daughter. She's when she was 2.5, she told me at the dinner table, she started talking about her life, and she told me that's her first life a nurse. That she used to live on a green planet with bunnies, and she used to talk to them telepathically. She basically manifested this bunny because it just was a gift out of the blue. One person we met gave it to us. So she knows a lot about, she talks a lot about energies, and she talks a lot about seeing disincarnated people, orbs, different entities. She knows all about grays and reptilians. She sees those a lot.
Okay, let's focus on that. Marina, how do you know about the Greys and reptilians and past lives and stuff like that? Share your memories with us.
When I was an elf, well, that's who I used to be, on another planet, they used to attack a lot. And also during this life on Earth, my mom told me a lot about them, and I learned a lot from them.
Well, she basically had a hypnosis session which she wanted to have herself with Kalajorgi Fazi last year when she was 9. And she just went into hypnosis. She didn't need any help. And she saw herself on a planet, elf-like creature. And she saw reptilians attacking the planet and kidnapping the kids, because they had like family-like, she had a family, right?
Yeah.
So when they...
So Marina, in your past lives, were you an elf being? Can you describe what they look like?
We kind of looked like people. We were beautiful creatures. We had pointy ears, like everybody knows.
How about the body?
The body, we were like skinny, like pretty tall. And like we had our own hair color, different eye colors, kind of like people. Sometimes we have wings, and that's it.
Do you remember what your planet looked like?
Yeah, it was grassy. It was like a forest. Everything was giant. Like the flowers, they were giant flowers, stuff like that.
Sounds like a very positive realm. Was this one of the higher dimensions, or was it in the third dimension like we are existing now?
Definitely a higher dimension.
Nice. Do you remember what happened in your past life to you?
I went into this. I was kind of lured into this like wormhole thingy, like a black hole, and then I was taken to Earth.
And then you incarnated a portal through your mother?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You picked me, right? Yeah. You picked me on a screen. She said she saw me on a screen when she was 2.5. She drew a picture. Then I asked her why. She said, "You were just beautiful." That's what she said.
Right? So you remember coming through to this world and picking your mother as your Earth mother, and then you portaled through her in your incarnation.
Yeah.
I have so many similar stories. I remember myself picking my mother. I was floating in the hospital room and I saw her giving birth, and I floated into the body when it came to, but I knew the whole energy of my mom and my father at the time there.
Interesting.
Just cool.
What other memories do you have?
Well, you can talk about the other lives you remember. Like you were talking about being a bird, and
I do remember some like some memories of me going deep into the forest, because that's where most of the bunnies were, and I always played around with them. Like
You
I
almost look
love.
like a bunny. The same facial features as a bunny does.
Yeah. Oh, this one, you can tell him about the soul of this bunny.
Oh, the soul of this bunny. He was on the same planet as me. He lived in a forest. He was one of my like best friend bunnies. So he kind of ended up with me for a reason.
I have a similar story with one of my cats. One of my cats is one of my soulmates in a feline incarnation I had, and she incarnated with me in this lifetime so I could have love this lifetime.
Well,
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just came to us.
Who gave it to you?
one of my friends, one of my good friends I've known for a long time.
Yeah, but back then, we just met them, right?
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
met them and
definitely.
they said, well, we have 2 bunnies. They invited us to see them.
Yeah, like they were like, they just keep fighting. We have to
They wanted to get rid of one, and
yeah.
that was this one.
So the bunnies of your planet, were they your companions, and as you were the elf beings?
We let the rabbits and all the animals in the elf world roam free. Like we didn't really keep any of them as pets, but we did have like best friends. We always came out to play with them. We sometimes took them into the house to our little houses for them to just to play around with them there.
I love how
But
you say the word "we don't have pets" because, and where I'm from, I personally hate the word pet. Pet's like a slave ownership word. I call all my animals that I hang out with companions or friends. They're all my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, he can sit on her for hours. I mean, literally, he can sleep with her. He licks her. She's the only one whom he licks.
well,
Yeah.
actually, he licks a lot of us. But I'm the one who he started to lick first.
He likes you. He imprints on you. Like I wake up and I have 5 cats sleeping on me in a 1,300 square foot house. So, right. So they're always attracted to good positive energy, right? So now, what I really want to talk about is like you clearly are awakened at a very young age. How old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10 years old. When did you become more awakened? Were you awakened from birth, or did it happen recently?
I think I started being awakened at probably 2 years old because I started remembering everything.
That's amazing. So you are what they call a diamond child. You are the 3rd generation starseed. The first generations are the starseeds, which were born in the 70s, and then the second wave are the indigo children, which are the late 80s to late 90s, and then the diamond children, 3rd generation, which you guys are awakened at pretty much birth. And me, I was awakened when I was 26. I was an indigo child, and starseeds are awakened in their adolescence years. So there's tons of kids like you. I meet kids like you all the time. Like I'll overhear conversations at restaurants of kids talking about beings they see, and their human parents are just like blown away. They don't understand how to take this. That's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because there's a lot of. Oop, someone turned on my vacuum again. Sorry, my cat likes to play with it. Let me just turn it off 1 sec. Sorry, I have a robot vacuum and one of my cats plays with it. But the reason why I wanted to bring on the show is I have a lot of parents that have starseed children or diamond children, and they ask these questions, and that's why it'd be nice for everyone to watch the show with you on it. So, are your sisters and brothers awakened too?
Yeah, she has her brother is the one who's being trained in the jungle, on the jungle planet every night, as he says.
So he's in the secret space programs right now. He's been recruited.
Yeah, I think so.
And you should have memories of this stuff too, because they really like to choose starseed or diamond children kids. Do you have any memories of being in space and space wars or anything?
Me?
Yeah.
You mean when I was an elf?
Or in any realms, like in this lifetime, past lifetimes, do you remember any battles, military stuff, anything?
Missions.
Oh, well, I do remember when I was an elf. It was a very peaceful world, but sometimes reptilians invaded, and we had to fight them to get away from our planet.
Could you guys defend yourselves though?
Could we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
That's amazing. Like there's so many stories of like say human mythology with elves, vampires, Draculas, and all these mythical creatures. It seems to be like these are all true beings, especially dragons. These are all true beings from different realms. These are just proof of it. Like where I come from, I'm surrounded with dragons and vampires and Draculas where I'm from, right? So like all these beings do exist in different realms.
She talks a lot about dragons too. I mean, she draws. We have literally pictures of hybrid dragons on there. I could send you the pictures later.
Yeah, I'm a hybrid dragon. My twin flame's a hybrid dragon, and or what they call real Dracos. And there's a lot. Most of them are very positive, loving beings. Most of them are golden dragons that actually protected these realms until the reptilians invaded.
Yeah, you talk a lot about nice dragons, right? Like you remember that too.
Most dragons are very compassionate, very loving, very understanding. They are the protectors between these realms and the reptilians, and the reptilians just came out of nowhere and started invading all these planets.
My bunny's eating my hair.
Yeah.
What's your bunny's name?
Oh, my bunny's name is Cloudy.
Cloudy? Does that mean anything to you? That name or?
I really just named him because he's gray and white, and those are the colors that clouds can be. I don't exactly know why I named him that, but I just thought of it.
Now, in the elf realms, do you remember your parents?
Not exactly.
Okay.
But you were talking in the session, right? That you had like, you go into the hole under the tree.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't remember. Like she's done 3 sessions in Russian, 1 with Kalajira, and then a few in English too, the short ones. And she doesn't. You know how it is when you go in hypnosis, you don't remember much, but then it comes like as parts of the memories like that. But her sister, who's 4, she talks a lot about the crystal planet where dragons live. And she can read your mind. She absolutely reads my thoughts, like the 4-year-old.
I have met children that are diamond children and that can travel in dreams and talk to you from with long distances. Stop it.
No,
Sorry,
she
my
wakes
cat's just being
first thing
crazy.
she says, "Mom, I visited the dragon planet again. There are crystals all over. They're blue and it's beautiful, and the surface is half transparent." And then she describes the dragons. That's a 4-year-old. But she also tells me, "Mom, what you're thinking about right now, I don't want that to happen. Like, don't do that."
love, so jealous.
Yeah, she tells me that.
Yeah, these diamond children are so much more advanced than us. Like we are indigos and we have empathic abilities where we feel energies and kind of read people that way. But these diamond children can walk through dreams, talk to you in dreams that from long distances. Like distances don't even matter. They can read your mind. Some of them have telekinesis powers. It's crazy. Like these are, and I've heard diamond children talk to people like control system people and like threaten them. They're like, these 4-year-olds are threatening adults. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't stop us. We're here to liberate, right? So do you know your mission here? Why did you incarnate here?
I incarnated. Well, I came here to help people because people on Earth are negative, like really negative sometimes. And I'm trying to make them more positive. I'm trying to make them more happy, positive, and funny. And another reason I'm here, I'm also here for the animals. Like, I really love animals.
I love it. I love animals too.
Yeah,
I'm here for animals mainly.
About the dolphins.
Yeah, I really want to help animals when I grow up. And
yeah, I volunteer at animal pet shelters every weekend, so that's why I spend my weekends.
Well, she's all about shelters. She keeps looking at the animals and saying,
yeah, I clean cages and walk them, pet them. I hang out with new recruit. I call them new recruits, new drop-offs, and then I foster them at my house. And I have 5 cats for now. I'm probably gonna add some more here that need good homes. So
it's amazing. She always attracts people by vibration, like who save animals from kill shelters.
Oh, her energy is so positive. It's not even funny. It vibrates even through this long distance. I can feel it. So I want to ask you, since you were in school before all this COVID thing happened, how do you find yourself being a diamond child in school with all the humans?
Like like
Like just their energy and just being around them, and and like the school system and how humans are as children.
it kind of annoys me because it just I just don't like school because I mean in the elf realm there isn't really any, well, in the elf place there isn't really any school. Everything's more free. I mean the animals are free, the people are free, the kids are free. Like in school I feel like I'm in a prison and I'm forced to do stuff.
I love it because everything you're saying is what I've been preaching on for years. Like when I was in school, I found it very absurd. I didn't really fit in. I thought it was a prison. I thought I had to, like, the things they were teaching me was like I was being forced down my throat, and I didn't. Had a hard time in school because I did all the energies were attacking me. Like as an empath, do you find it hard with all the energies in that school?
Yeah, it makes you sick. I mean, she gets nauseous a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
get sick all the time from bad energies, and I sometimes I find myself very negative, but then I realize that it's the other energies that I'm picking up off of, that's what I am. So I had to meditate before school and project a golden shield around my entire energy aura when I'd go to school, so all the negative energies would bounce off me.
Yeah, like usually what I do once I come home, I just plop on the couch and cuddle with my bunny.
I love it. When I come home, I just grab my cats because as soon as I grab my cat or my cats, they take all my negative energy right away. It's all gone.
Yes, yeah, it's like they have so much positive energy, and when you hug them or something, and then they feel happy and like when they get all the attention, they take away your negativity.
Oh, I 100% agree. Thank God a Diamond Child agreed with the Indigo. Thank you.
I told him
So,
about the time how you feel like it's stretchable, you can move it at any time. She doesn't understand numbers, like pretty much the same. I don't understand math, and I'm not
oh, I
interested in
had the
it. She
worst
doesn't
time in
understand
math
time.
too. Yeah. Hmm.
She doesn't she thinks that sometimes that an hour is shorter than 30 minutes or something like this.
Well, our understanding, because we come from the higher dimensions, like I come from the sixth dimension. I have no idea where the elf dimension is, but like we come from higher dimensions, and when we're coming down to the third dimension, our understanding is we have to slow down our vibration just to understand this third dimensional teachings, and like we don't understand it at all. Like the hardest thing for me was reading. I'm reading a book. Like to slow my mind down enough to read a book was impossible. I have to do audible books because at least I can hear it, which was a faster processing than reading for me.
Yeah, you like to read, right? But the math, she asked me to help with the math, and I don't understand math. I'm not even interested in numbers. You know, the same thing with
Well,
her.
it's also because she's such a high vibrational being that her higher self understands that the school system is a complete brainwashing of the consciousness, right? So from
Right,
kindergarten, elementary to high school, even college, it's complete brainwash. And then when you graduate all those schooling, that you're a completely different person. And her higher consciousness is trying to fight that right now. That's why she's resisting to the schooling.
right. Yeah, and she actually was 2 days ago, right, when you really felt sick.
Yeah.
And you said that was because the energies of the earth were so heavy, right?
Yeah.
It happens to her like quite a bit when we go somewhere where there are people around, and some days she just says the energies of the earth, she feels it like they're heavy.
Yeah, you're completely in tuned to everything. Just it took me until I was 26 to be in tuned, and you're almost 10 years old and you're in tune. I'm so jealous. But the things that could help you teach you is just do some meditation before school. Like picture yourself in your mind as an energy being and project these energy shields around you. And this will really help you in the school system because it will not all these negativity energies won't be able to attack you.
Yeah, what we do, tell him what we do at night, like how we both go and
At night we close our eyes. We check our bodies if there's any negativity.
like energy spheres and astral bodies.
we check if there's something
Like
like
energies where you get treated.
bad energies in your body.
I love it. I wish you were my mom.
And then we
Yeah.
just
Just throws them out in the
Yeah.
portal, like, you know, you're doing
I
hypnosis.
could see why she chose you to be her Earth mom.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your dreams. Like what humans call dreams. Like where do you go when your body goes to sleep at night?
well, I usually I go to my different lives sometimes. Sometimes I go into the galaxy. I explore a bunch of planets. Every time I dream, most of the time I dream on a planet. When I wake up, I dream about being on a planet. But when I wake up, I think it's some kind of other dream, like something normal, like
You speak
like doing
different
something on
languages.
this planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you astral project a lot then.
And sometimes, in my sleep, I speak some weird languages. I speak like really fast, something like messed up or something. It's super fast. It's like da 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 da. And my mom always like hears it and she tries to record it.
Yeah, I've recorded like a few seconds because by the time I get my phone or something to record, she's done.
You should put a
It's so
recording in
fast.
her room when she goes to bed every night and see what you get.
Yeah. Yeah, and she switches the languages too.
Well, yeah,
Every
you're
night is
dealing with a
different.
diamond child here. This is like a gift. Like you're so advanced. I'm so jealous. Like me, when I'm off planet and I travel I call it astral projection, where this body goes to bed and I leave the body and I travel the multiverse, visit planets, past lives, homeworlds, other dimensions like this one, and visit other versions of myself. Beings will speak to me in my head and I'll understand everything they say, even if it's in any language they say. But I never speak to them. It's always them speaking to me and I'm understanding what they're saying. It's like a universal translator in my mind.
Interesting. Yeah, she used to sleepwalk too. But then we did that hypnosis session.
I remember falling asleep, and when I wake up, I'm down on the floor. I'm on the floor, and I'm like, what?
Do beings contact you in a sleep state of mind?
Do you see beings
like other creatures?
Aliens, yeah.
Yeah, I see them. Like when I'm talking their language to them.
Are you guys speaking telepathy or verbal language?
Like I just speak the language. Sometimes I do telepathy. On some planets they do telepathy, so I do telepathy. When they just talk some kind of language, just like through talking, I do that. Like most of the time when I'm talking in my sleep, that's when I do on that planet they just do talking.
Oh, I love it. It's so cool. Now, do you find in your school system and like say friends that you have, are there lots of other diamond children like you, or you feel like you're alone?
I haven't like all of my friends. I haven't felt any like diamond in them, so I kind of feel alone sometimes.
Yeah, you feel like you're the smartest out of all your friends, don't you? You feel like you're the black sheep, and with all your classmates.
an observer. She's just observing everybody.
Yeah, I call it people watching. That's the same thing. Like when I was a child, I people watched through all elementary and all of high school. I never associated with anyone. I just sat there and learned and watched everyone because I was just trying to understand their culture.
Yeah, it's pretty much like her, but she also knows, even the teacher told me, she feels like 10 minutes before some kids start fighting, she walks away. She goes out of the room.
Oh, it's one of her superpowers. I love it.
Timeline, she looks ahead of time.
See, my abilities with that is I feel the energy. Like say if I'm around someone has a negative action, I will feel the energy, but I will stay to view it. But that's probably just my age, right? Like if I was a kid too, I'd probably leave. But as a child, when I was her age, I used to see the shadow people all the time. I'd like tell my teacher, I'm like, they're in my classroom, they're sitting next to me, they're talking to me, and then they wanted to admit me, and then my mom told me to stop talking like that. So I trained my mind not to see them anymore, and I just turned all my empathic abilities off until I was 26.
Interesting. Tell him how you saw this guy, right? You told me he was watching you at the playground. Remember last summer?
Oh yeah, so once I was playing at this playground. On the other side, I saw this black ghost. At first I was kind of scared.
They're called shadow people, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of kids see them all the time. It's like most kids like you and me, when we're coming into our empathic abilities, like lots of children say to their parents, "Mommy, I see the monsters in the closet. I see the shadow people." And you can actually Google this online. How many accounts are there of the shadow people? There's so many stories across the world of kids reporting these beings, and they're just shadow beings. And there's like I've read multiple reports that they don't ever hurt anyone. They just startle kids. Like they're just sitting there watching.
Yeah, he was watching you, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly what you told me.
Yeah, he was staring at me.
Yeah, I had one when I was living at my dad's house since I was like 6 years old for 10 years till 16. I would always look in my closet. There'd be a shadow guy sitting there with it looked like he had kind of like a jacket on, and he had eyes, and he'd just stare at me, sleep all day, all night for 10 years. And I was scared at first, and then my parents saw him, and then they just said, "Well, has he hurt you yet?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, just ignore it." And then we moved out, and then the new people moved in, and I came by a couple years later just because I grew up in that house. I always have dreams of that house always being brought back there, and I just went back there when it was being sold, and I was checking it out, and there was new people that were moving in, and they were telling me that they saw this shadow person in the closet of the room that I used to live in, and would stare at its daughter, and just stare. And yeah, I don't know what that means. So
Whoa, that's so that's so cool.
well, they're attracted to certain energy people, like us star seeds, or us, let's just say we're from other worlds, just like your mom is. Like we have higher energies, and we're just watched. There's only about 66 million of us on this planet existing today, compared to 8 billion humans that live here.
Yeah.
And we're their lower vibration, we're higher. They're like those beings could be like people part of the SSP that are taking your brother off planet and using him in the jungles to use his secret powers. Does your brother ever talk about his secret powers he has?
He doesn't really talk about it. Like I talk more about the like
explores all the time.
Yeah,
like he climbs up trees.
I talk about the Starseed stuff. While my brother, he doesn't really think about the Starseed stuff, but he does act like he's in the jungle. Like he thinks the whole world is a jungle. He's always climbing on everything he sees.
How old is your brother?
He's 8.
8, yeah, that's the proper age. They usually take him at 6 years old. He might be experiencing his memory, so he might have been taken at 6 years old, done his 20 and back, then put back in time when he was 6 years old when he was taken with memory blocks, and his dreams might be just his memories right now of the training programs.
Possible, but he talks a lot about growing with the wolves and the Black Panther, and
the wolves were in those jungle training programs. A lot of that, I had those experiences myself.
Yeah, he jumps from the trees. He once got a huge stick into his leg, and he didn't even care. He doesn't feel pain.
They probably has. Yeah, super soldiers have high pain tolerances, like myself. We feel the pain. We just mentally just block it out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, what abilities do you feel like you have?
Me?
Yeah.
You feel my energies.
I feel everybody's energies. Like when somebody's upset, like I feel it. And even when it's hard to really feel, like even if it doesn't show by the face, I can just feel it by the energy.
You can tell when people's lying, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of human emotions?
Yeah, she doesn't know how to lie.
Yeah.
But she
But what do
doesn't.
you feel like when other people are directing their emotions at you? What do you feel of human emotions?
They kind of seem confusing sometimes, but it's easy to understand, but they're still kind of confusing.
Yeah, see, where I come from, we have a hard time with emotions. We base everything on logical thinking. So when a human is directing their emotional energy at me, I feel very attacked, and like then I turn into what they're projecting at me. So then I project it back in full force. So which I've been learning to stop. And I always try to tell humans like base all your decisions on logical thinking, no more emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So do the elf people ever visit you ever in your dreams?
Yeah, sometimes. I have a lot of dreams about rabbits. I mean, I've loved them since I knew what an animal was. Like, they're my favorite animal since I knew what a favorite animal was. I've had a bunch of dreams. I think I had a dream when I was 4, where I was in this meadow. There were a bunch of bunnies jumping around. There was this, like, house, tiny house, like cottage house thing. And I kind of lived in there.
That's amazing. You almost sound like those avatar beings that live one with nature.
Yeah, she talked about this house a lot since she was 2.5.
So
And
this might be a house
Yeah.
in your past life.
I remember drawing a picture of the meadow with bunnies in the house.
Sounds like where you came from. That's your home.
Yeah,
Like you probably feel like Earth isn't your home, correct?
yeah. It's the homes are kind of confusing. Like, why don't people? Why like I lived inside a big hole in the tree trunk. Like, this building's high up. I used to live down in the ground, and right now I'm living high up, and it's kind of
So your
right.
species sounds like it's not based on technological advancement. It sounds like it's just a spiritual advanced species that knows how to defend itself, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I heard the higher dimensional realms, they're based on of higher vibration, obviously, but they're allowed to defend themselves, but never to attack. So that if the reptilians attack you, you must be able to defend yourselves because the reptilians are lower dimensional beings and you're higher dimensional beings. So you must have some spiritual powers overlapping them to keep your species still alive.
yeah,
But they took you as little, right? You were a little girl there. That's why they lied to you or something. You said in the session there was some sort of chamber with the wormhole that they send you through.
yeah. There's this how they took me away. There was this, like, wormhole, black hole.
The reptilians took you away? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, they kind of tricked me. They said it was so cool in there. Well, they kind of took form into another elf being, and
Yeah, they
yeah,
shapeshifted to trick you, yeah.
they were like, "Whoa, this place is so cool," and they lured me in as a little girl, cause like, yeah. And then I kept going in loops until I went to Earth.
So they portaled you from your home world into this incarnation, but then you picked your mother. So when they okay, one sec.
Sorry. Just my oldest son was actually asleep.
He doesn't really know.
4 kids, yeah.
So why do you think the reptilians portaled you from your elf realm to this realm?
They just kept doing that to elves. They just kept doing it. They're trying to, like, keep our world.
Keep your world?
Yeah, they're trying to turn it into Mars. So,
Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear
I don't
that.
know. Yeah.
So, Marina, do you talk about your Starseed stuff to other people, or just you keep it to yourself?
I keep it to myself. I only talk about it to my mom.
Yeah, and why is that? Because you're don't like hearing humans like don't understand you properly.
Yeah, they don't understand me.
No, I feel a lot like you. I when I was awakened, it took me a long time to start talking this way and create a YouTube channel and do Instagram channels because I was scared of judgment. And there's a lot. The reason why I actually created this channel is to get a lot of starseeds that are too shy to come out to share their stories and help humans understand who they are.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. Do you ever tell your friends about this stuff? Do you have lots of human friends?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends, but I don't really tell them.
Yeah. So you just gotta pretend to be human for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just put a mask on, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So why did you choose your mom out of all the people here? How come you saw her on a screen of all things? Why didn't you need to see her in person?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
Your mother, when you said you chose her in your incarnation, so do you remember seeing her? You said you saw her on a screen. Like what type of screen
Yeah,
did you see her on?
I was high up in the clouds, and then there was just like big screen that went in front of me. There were a bunch of mothers who wanted like who were like available. I kept scrolling down, looking.
That's
And
so
there,
crazy. I
wait,
remember yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, the bunny.
Oh, there you go.
Here's
There's
my
another one.
4-year-old.
Hello. So, Marina, we're talking about the screen. When I remember in a past life when I came here, I remember there was a guy standing in front of two computer screens, like big screens, and I was in a soul form, and he was scrolling through something, like a list of faces. And I remember I picked a face, and that was my next incarnation. Do you remember similar things like that?
oh, like different faces, how you would look like.
Yeah, faces of what I would look like, and also people that I would incarnate with.
Yeah, I remember. There are like two big screens in this big room. I think
Yeah, oh my
the
God, that's
floors
so creepy.
the floors were like white marble floors, kind of.
Yeah, well, from what I remember, the floor was white marble. There was two
Yeah,
massive screens. There was a guy in the middle, and then there was like an
yeah.
energy wrapped around this room that looked like rainbow energy. And then I'm just a soul form. I'm just like in a bubble of energy. That's what I
Aw,
look like. And then, sorry, that's one of my kitties. And then he asked me where do I want to incarnate, and he's going like this through the screen with his finger, and I'm like, and I tell him to stop, and I point on that picture in that lifetime, and then I incarnate into this body.
wow. Yeah, I remember a lot like that. Wait. Okay.
That's why I think when I had that memory is that is if do you think this is a simulation this lifetime,
Yeah.
like a computer simulation?
Yeah, kind of like a game.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
Cause it's kind of like you do stuff over and over again. You wake up, you you do life, you do what you gotta do. You go to sleep, over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I heard that if you don't complete your learning lesson, that you reincarnate again, and you repeat the same lifetime cycle in essence.
Yeah, it's like a game. You have to win.
Yeah, that's so crazy because there was a guy, I don't know if you know Joe Rogan or Elon Musk. Elon Musk talks a lot about how this is a computer simulation.
Yeah.
You say that a lot yourself. It's just a game.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people call life. This is the big game, the life game, which is a learning process. Now, do you have any other memories you want to share? What about your mom?
I used to be more stuff. I used to be this big blue bird. like a big one. It was kind of like a phoenix, but it was big and blue. It had some like long neck. I also used to be a mermaid. I didn't look like a mythical creature mermaid, like magical and stuff.
Do you have any computer experiences? Like, were you ever an AI computer?
Just like a computer, like on Earth.
Like a robot. Like, were you ever in a robot body or a cyborg body or anything like that?
I don't remember anything like that.
Okay, so you're strictly from the higher dimensions, which is a good thing.
It's cloudy, okay? Get cloudy. Mama, it's cloudy, okay? Mama, only two.
Now, is your sister here? Is she a Starseed?
Meryl,
Can
are
you feel
you
it?
I think so, because she knows how people, the names of the people on the streets. So she tells me. She used to tell me.
Oh, this is the one that reads your mind.
Yeah, she's the one.
Oh. Can you read your mom's mind right now?
Yeah, can you read Mom's mind?
Muriel, do you remember you tell me a lot about that crystal planet with dragons?
Yeah, I remember.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, like my little sister was falling asleep and she started telling me. My mom
You know what's crazy is my my stepdaughter, she is 4 years old, and her mother recently came out and told everyone that her daughter keeps talking about these dragon beings. That she's like, "Mommy, don't worry, I'm gonna kill the dragon beings with my laser sword or laser energy weapon," and like, 'cause she keeps having these dreams about dragons. Yeah.
Like a lightsaber.
Yeah, lightsaber. Yeah.
And those dragons, you talk about crystals, right?
They were like crystal dragons.
Crystal dragons.
Those are super high dimensional beings. Yeah, your daughters are very high dimensional.
Crystals on their heads. Yeah, so they're kind of like unicorns with crystals on your head.
Yeah, she constantly talks about it.
Are these your family? Are they nice to you?
This is
it no. Is it your family, the dragon ones?
In the other dimension? Oh, like Min was down, and Mom was down, and Dad was down, and me was down, and Cammy. So Cameron. So your whole human family. Like we have a brother. His name is Cammy. Yeah. Maria, were the dragons like your family, your friend? Like the dragons, were they nice to you, or were they bad? Those were our pets. Those were our pets.
What did you do with dragons? Do you remember? I always ask her first thing before she even opens her eyes. What dream she saw, that's when she remembers the best before it,
That's when everyone remembers the best. That's how I remember the best too. She looks so much like you, that one.
Thanks. Yeah, she's got this very deep eyes.
Yeah. She'll have a lot more. How old is she, the little one, again?
She'll be 5 on July 31st, right? Almost 5?
Yeah, we go to a party,
But we did decide to go to move to Florida because Cammy, who's 8, who's a jungle boy, keeps talking about being in the jungle and being.
Where do you guys live right now?
Chicago.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you're originally from Russia?
I'm from Ukraine. From
Ukraine,
Kiev, okay. Ukraine.
Yeah. Can we have a blood?
Okay. Yeah. So do you want to talk more about dragons, or that's it? And she actually started swimming by herself when she was, like 17 months, around 2. And she used to say that she was like a creature that swims, right, Mariel?
Yeah, and like before, or like during the winter, she kind of forgot how to swim, and now like after like 1 week of the summer, she already learned how to swim over again.
Yeah, you guys are a lot like us. We learned very quickly. Like I remember when I was in swimming classes, I graduated 3 different belts. In Canada, you have like levels. I graduated 3 levels in one session.
Wow.
Here, keep talking. I gotta get my cat one sec.
Ooh, I want to see a kitty. Me too.
Sorry, my cats. Like, look at them right here. Like,
Uh-huh.
they're. Oh, wait, is it working yet? There's one, and then there's one back there playing with my Star Wars Lego. Like,
I know a lady, and she has 2 cats. Can I tell? You know, like there was one named Pickle and Speedy. Yeah. Yeah. There's one black and white one. Named black
Speedy.
and white one.
how do you know her name's Squeaky?
And like Speedy. And like
Oh, that's Squeaky.
he told us. And like there was one like disco. He was gray. Yeah, he was gray. He looked like that one you showed us. Yeah. Her name was Pickles. Yeah, Pickles. And I saw you show me a black and white one, and I'm like, whoa.
What's his name? What's the black and white one's name?
Black and white one is Speedy. The gray one is Pickles.
Pickles and Speedy. Well, in this incarnation, they're called Squeakers and Fluffy.
Wait,
So,
really?
yeah, that's their names in this incarnation.
Then I will get me.
Interesting.
So, Marina, I want to ask you one question. Do you remember who your star family is?
Wait, are you asking me or my sister?
Marina, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I had one mom and one dad. I think I was an only child in my elf life. My mom had blonde hair. She looked a lot like me. She had blue eyes. My dad had brown hair. He had green eyes.
Do you remember if they're still connected to you at all? Do they visit you at all in your dreams?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, you feel like they watch over you. They're your guardian angels in this lifetime?
Well, not exactly angels, but yeah, they kind of help me.
Now, I want to ask you, because I want to see if you're into this stuff. What do you think of human eating, like their food? Do you find it's poison, like say fast food, McDonald's, Chap Water, stuff like that?
Oh, she's never eaten meat, even though my husband's
Or you're
family is all
vegetarian?
about-
Yeah, I'm vegetarian.
Since birth, she doesn't even know how it tastes.
I love it. There's this video of kids on a video where their parents show them where chicken nuggets come from, and they're Starseed kids, and their kids start crying for you, like, I can't believe you made me eat animals this entire time. Like, I will never forgive you. Like they didn't know where chicken came from.
Oh, they showed them a video? They showed them a video?
They showed them a video where chicken came from. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom showed me a video once. I was like,
Now, why do you choose to be a vegetarian?
Well, as I told you, I came on this world for animals. Yeah, and I'm here for animals. I love animals. And once like, and when I knew favorite animal is a bunny. Yeah, I know. Well, he knows. I've loved animals my whole life, and like chicken and stuff is made from animals, so I'm like, I love animals so much. I can't imagine.
That's so amazing. I'm so jealous because my species is draconian, and I tried to go vegan or vegetarian, and my body got super sick. I almost died. So like I have to have meat in the system, but I'm here more for animals than I am human beings.
Yeah, that's Marina said when she was 2 that I'm not gonna eat animals. I love them so much, but she never tried, and Miriam was the same way. They don't even know how it tastes meat.
Well, there are beings that are higher dimensional, like your daughters here, that refuse to eat meat. There's a lot of them out there, and they will never do it because they're to exist in these higher dimensions. You can't eat meat because you can't cause negativity or can't consume life forces.
Right. Yeah. Well, I stopped eating it at 16, and my mom wasn't really eating it much, but she was of high dimension too, because she used to tell me there's no God, there's just energy, and we all come from energy. And that was in former Soviet Union. It was just something that nobody would tell you.
So was your mom a starseed or an indigo child?
I think she was indigo, because she always gave me the choice. She used to tell me, you make the decision, and you kind of like, the consequences are yours. Whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to eat, whenever you want to eat, decide everything for yourself. You know, school is just a system. You just work for the diploma. She said, after that, after you get this paper, then, you know, you can do whatever you want with your life. But I always knew I couldn't work with in a big group or for anybody else but myself, you know, because I have a hard time with people. I really don't understand. They always tell me, you're so naive, you're like a child, you don't know how to get angry. That's a recent one. They told me, you have to learn how to get angry sometimes.
Yeah, us starseed overall, we have a hard time fitting in. Like people think I'm a naive or a jerk because I'm very blunt or very honest. Like I always tell people it's their free will choice of anything when they want to do. People can do anything they want, but they have to understand the consequences, the direction of free will and karma.
Right. Yeah, they're trying to use me, as I understand. I mean, I've learned it because they think that if you're kind, it means you're weak, and that weakness, you know, they try to kind of push you to do things for them more
It's a
and
very
more.
reptilian way of thinking, yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed that too. So I learned to kindly say no, because I used to not know how to do it. Because I try to help everybody, but it doesn't work that way. People are trying to use you then, if you're trying to help everybody.
Now, do you have anything else you want to share about Marina's, you were there through her hypnosis that she doesn't remember?
Yeah, she, I mean, you had the whole session about time, like she was comparing it to a slime or chewing gum that you can stretch it, you can play around with it, you can jump from one timeline to another, you can change them too. And then sometimes she tells me, you know, I'm so bored. I used to be able to create like by using my thought, but now I can't. I mean, it takes so long to manifest something.
I love it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember being off planet in other realms where we're my sixth dimension. We think everything with thought, and it just it just appears. Like if we want to create a friend, we just manifest it in our mind, create it, and it instantly pops. In these lower dimensions, you have to completely always think about what you want, manifest it completely, time in, time out, and then eventually it comes to you.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I remember on Series A, we would just merge the energies together, and we would have a child in our hands, and then the child would grow so quickly. It would know everything, just absorb the information from us. I saw that in the session. I remember that clearly, and more memories come up. And then sometimes I walk along the street and I see myself walking on the moon, and it's in a suit. It's kind of like a smart suit thing, like a second skin type thing. It's as if I was merging the the realities emerging in my head. And then all of a sudden, boom, I realized, no, I'm on Earth. But for a second, I thought I wasn't. You know what I mean? And recently I've seen dreams of saving some women. I think it was, did you remember it was Mars or Moon or something like this, like caves, underground facilities? It's almost like some of them were metal walls and others were like rock, like granite or something. I think it was on Mars, the granite ones. I'm not sure.
Marina, I want to ask you a question before we go here. What do you think is the best way to free humans and all beings from the reptilians and draconians?
To help them feel positive. like first you make them feel more positive, happy about themselves, you know, and then when they're all happy and funny and stuff, maybe you can start kind of telling them that, like, helping them understand the truth. Let them kind of figure it out themselves.
Do you have a message for humanity before we go here? Like, what would your message be to humans and other Earth mothers that don't understand that they have diamond children that they're raising?
That if your children are talking about something that you think is nonsense, like if they say there's a big monster trying to hurt me, you might think it's nonsense. And they're just making it up. It's in their imagination, but it might be really. There might really be a monster. I mean, like how you said about that that ghost that was in your closet, and how I saw that ghost in the playground. Shadow people. That might be really there.
Okay, and then also tell their human mothers like how they should deal with their diamond children here, so they don't dumb them down or bring their consciousness down.
They should help them. Like they should be like understanding. They should like help understand. Maybe kind of explain the world to them. Like,
be honest, right?
Yeah, be honest.
Truly honest, like no more Santa Claus lie and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And if you were a mother in the far future and you had diamond children, how would you treat them?
I would be understanding. I would give them tips for this earth. I would be understanding. I would be honest.
You would explore their special abilities instead of telling them it's just their imagination.
Yeah, I'd explore the special. I would encourage their special abilities.
And the biggest thing here is diet, right? Is what your kids are consuming.
Yeah.
Because everything that is fed to our children at such a young age, or even us when we were kids, is designed to dumb us down and make us low energy vibration.
Oh, you want to tell them something?
You don't get to get this close.
We have a bunny. His name is Cloudy. Yeah. He's white and gray.
She's like an actress.
He's white and gray. We have a bunny, and his name is Cloudy, and he's white and gray. You know that?
Yes, I do. I can see him. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's very nice to talk to you, Marina. If you ever have any more flashbacks or any more memories, you and your mom can come back on the show in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. See you guys later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.